this lens. Come on, come on, come on. All right, let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Cool. Good morning, still from the Helgeland Coast in Norway. I thought I was going to leave this part of the country much sooner, but Norway just keeps on giving and giving. It's still pretty early, it's just past 7, but everyone seems to be awake and driving around. But as I was saying, Norway just keeps on giving and giving. No matter where I go, I was not expecting to find a lot of beautiful landscapes here in more like the central part of the country, but I was so grown. This is beautiful and stunning as well. This is why it's taking me a little bit longer than I expected to get out of this part of the country and just go farther south where I have plenty of spots that I want to visit. But I don't want to just drive by these places and not photograph them. So here I am. So this spot that I'm photographing this morning, it's an art installation. It looks very cool and I think it's just the perfect spot for a long exposure. I was here last night, but I got here a little bit too late because the tide was a little bit too high. It was already covering the tiles a little bit, so they were not as clear as I wanted them to be. The image was fine, but I think I can make a better one this morning. That's why I came back here, but this time I'm a little bit too early. The water is too low. I want it a little bit higher, so I just need to wait. All right, gonna take another exposure here. All right, so this is gonna take longer than I was expecting. So I'm gonna make a coffee, hot coffee too, because it's very cold out here. As I said in the last video, I got an apartment in the little town of Mo i Rana. I spent 4 nights there. It was a nice break from living in the car for more than a month, and a nice break from photography 24/7 as well. I also got a lot of work done. The Wi-Fi was amazing, so I was able to schedule a lot of videos for here. I backed everything up, which is gives me a lot of peace of mind because I know now I have my photos in the memory cards, but also I copied them to the hard drives, and now they are in the cloud as well. So if something were to happen to my camera bag or my hard drives or both, I would still have a copy in the cloud at least. Before I got to town, I drove another part of this beautiful Helgeland Coast, and I think my personal favorite is one of a tree I took just by a rest stop where I spent the night. During the last couple of days, and since I left the apartment, I'm still driving the same scenic drive, this part of the coast. It's just full of beautiful spots everywhere. Like, for example, a couple nights ago, I spent the night at a parking lot, and it was absolutely beautiful. This is the parking lot for a hike, but it's pretty big, and there is no one here. And look at that view; it's pretty amazing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna spend the night here. I made a lot of images of the peaks around there. I even made a picture of the bathrooms themselves. I thought they looked pretty cool at night. But again, my personal favorite, I think it's one of a tree that I found during my evening walk against the backdrop of one of those mountain peaks, and the weather, the atmosphere was just absolutely beautiful with those low clouds hanging. As opposed to Lofoten, where I was kind of knowing what I was going to find there, where I knew kind of what to expect. I didn't know much about this part of the country, so I wasn't expecting a lot. It might not be as spectacular as Lofoten is, but it's still absolutely breathtaking. All right. I am down to 2-minute long exposures now. It's much brighter. Yeah, that's plenty, and it's looking very good. It's getting better and better. It's getting to definitely closer to what I had envisioned for this shot. I just want the water slightly higher than it is right now, and I think I'll get what I wanted. But I took a bunch of shots this morning. I took an exposure every few minutes, so I'm gonna have a lot to choose from. I still think that the one that I'm yet to make is gonna be my favorite, but I like a lot of the ones that I already made, and they are different. I don't know, I might change my mind. And just for fun, I'm gonna be in the next shot. It makes me very nervous to have my 2 cameras so close to the water, unattended. There is a little breeze. All right, time is up. I'm taking now what is going to be my last exposure. I have a lot of shots to choose from, even from yesterday, and I've been here for more than 2 hours, so I think it's enough. I'm gonna show you now my favorite image of the bunch. Oh, it's cold. Okay, getting some gas. It's at 1987 NOK or Norwegian crowns. That is by far the cheapest I've seen it. All right, time for a little walk. There is a mountain that you can see behind me. It's supposed to have a hole in the middle. It's visible from the southern part of the mountain. So that's where I'm going now. Those hay bales remind me of home. There are a lot of those where I live, where I grew up in northwest Spain. You've seen me taking photos of them in the fog many times. There is no fog here today, but we do have a pretty cool backdrop there. That's something I don't have back in Spain, so I'm gonna photograph that. I think it's a cool shot. Okay, there you have the hole in the mountain right there. It's kind of cool. I think I have to get in on that field to avoid the weeds here in the foreground. think that's looking very sweet. I'm gonna switch my lens. I've been using the 50 1.4 and I switch to the 35 and get closer to the bales. And hopefully the sun just came out right now, of course. And now that plastic, that white plastic wrap, whatever the name is super bright. I have way too many things in this little bag, but it's much more convenient to bring just this and the huge camera bag I have. One thing that I like about shooting in this weather, I mean by this weather I mean kind of cooler temperatures, is that I have to wear a jacket like this so I can put stuff in my pockets, and that's extra space, extra storage. All right, that's a pretty view. All right, so here I am taking, of course, another long exposure using the 35 still, and just a couple minutes, maybe enough to smooth out a little bit, to get a little bit of motion on those clouds. It's not exactly what I was hoping to find here. I was not counting on those buildings there. It could be better without them, but I can't do anything about that. I am so excited because my favorite grocery store here in Norway, or at least so far here in northern and central Norway, is one called Coop, C-O-O-P, and they have these tiny stores called Coop Pricks, and they have the bigger ones, the Coop Extra, but I just saw a Coop Mega, and I have no idea what that means, but I have to check it out. Waiting for the ferry, just 15 minutes. It's gonna be a very fast ride, 20 minutes I believe, so I might not even get out of the car. And this might be the last ferry I take for a while, because this is gonna be the last section of this whole I'm gonna try to pronounce it, Helgeland Coast Scenic Drive. And I found a couple of spots that were very cool. The first one was a bridge that was called something like that. And the other spot was one just before getting here. The landscape was nice, but the light, that light. many other spots at this Helgeland Coast where I didn't record videos, but where I got some images like these ones. Still looking pretty beautiful at this other side, and I saw moose for the first time here in Norway. That was pretty cool. So let's take a look from there. So cool. All right, that was quite a bit of driving, but I finally found a spot that is close to the road, but it should be okay just to spend the night. It was a long day on the road. It was a fun one though, and I got to take some photos, so that's always great, and I'm surrounded by beautiful landscapes. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.